All right, so I'm recording this video because I put up this Instagram poll earlier today. Let's let it focus in real quick. Ask me anything about SMMA, answering 5 questions. So I figured I would hop on here and record those 5 answers for you really quickly. All right, question number 1. What is the number 1 reason why agency owners struggle to scale past $10,000 a month? I love this question. I've actually been asked this quite a bit recently, and I'll tell you the main reason why people can't scale past $10,000 a month is because they're not building the foundation the right way. You got to think about building an agency or any business in that matter as building blocks, right? So you can't get past a certain block if you don't have the whole foundation for the first block completed. Let me explain this a little bit more. Most of the time, when agency owners can't get past a certain spot, or business owners can't get past a certain spot in their business, is because they need to go back to the foundation. And most of the time, for at least the $10,000 mark, a monthly reoccurring, the biggest issue is people don't have their core offer in place, meaning that they're working with a lot of different industries, a lot of different niches, a lot of different offers. And the whole secret to this, and what we call inside our program, is the bulletproof offer. Basically, a bulletproof offer means that you have one core offer in one industry. And then once you get that down, you can scale the right way. That's honestly the number 1 reason why people aren't scaling the right way, is because they don't have the foundation down the right way. So if you want to scale and you're stuck around the $10,000 a month mark, make sure your foundation's right. Make sure you have that bulletproof offer, because once you have the bulletproof offer, the rest comes into play. Question number 2, best platform to reach out to chiropractors on. Love this question. Simple answer is everywhere. Everywhere you go, you should be reaching out to your potential clients. If I told you just one platform, you would focus all of your attention on that, and it might work for you, but you got to think about it like this. Like, chiropractors, let's use chiropractors as an example. It's a great example. They're everywhere. They're everywhere you go outside. They're everywhere you go online. Think outside the box. If I were to sit here and tell you, well, Facebook's been the best for us, everybody watching this video right now would be going on Facebook trying to get chiropractors, which you can. It's actually how I made my first 6 figures online, was simply just going after chiropractors on Facebook. But think outside the box. What I would say to you, regardless what industry you're in, the best way to get a client right now, especially with everything that's going on in this world, there's so little real human communication right now, that if you go to like a chiropractor's office and pitch them in person, your chances are going to be a lot higher, because you can build that actual connection. So my biggest advice for getting not just chiro clients, any clients, try to build a human interaction in person somewhere. Question number 3, what are the best niches? That is a very broad question. There's a lot of good niches out there. I actually did a full training, I'll link it down below, that you guys can check that out, where I go over how to find a blue ocean industry. And when you find that blue ocean industry, it kind of goes back to that bulletproof offer we were talking about before. You can scale the right way. You can really scale like Christian Bale when you find that core offer, that bulletproof offer, the right way. So I'm not gonna go into too much detail on that right now. You can check out that free training down below. I'll leave a link for you. Question number 4, how much do you charge for services? For us, we only go after big contracts. The smallest amount deal we'll sign is a $9,000 deal. And I'll tell you right now, that is another big issue why most agencies can't scale the right way, because they don't have the bulletproof offer in place. But more importantly, they don't have the contracts and the commitment and the results going into it. So if you want to scale past $10,000 a month, you need to, 1, have the bulletproof offer down in place. And number 2, you have to do big contracts. Any marketing you do at all, it's unethical, honestly. It's honestly unethical for you as a marketer to go out there and sign someone up for 1 month. The reason being is because marketing doesn't happen overnight. Like when you sign a client up for a month, for the most part, they have a higher chance of losing money, because if they were to commit 3 months, I highly recommend that your absolute lowest contract is 3 months. When you do 3 months, that gives you more than enough time to perfect the campaign. And if you can't perfect the campaign in 3 months, you're doing something wrong. Because more importantly, if you can't do it in the first month, you should use that money that that client's paying you to hire or pay somebody to teach you how they do it. That's what I would recommend. So only big contracts, that's how we do it here. And last but not least, how did you find a group of people who are in SMMA like you? That is a great question. And this is honestly kind of how my brand and my networking really took off. Was after I started getting some results, I started posting about it a lot on Facebook. And then I started adding other members I was part of groups with, networking in those groups. And eventually a lot of people started reaching out to me asking for advice. And instead of replying to every single person individually, because let's face it, that would take years, that would take a long time to do, right? I ended up creating my own Facebook group, which again, plug down below, completely free. I'd highly recommend that you join there. And I started posting a lot in there, giving advice, replying to answers, replying to questions. And that's how my brand took off. But to answer your question in a nutshell, is the best way is to go into Facebook groups and start networking with people. I would highly, highly recommend that you get in masterminds, paid masterminds, and then start networking. Because that's really how my network really grew, was because, as you guys know, if you followed me for a little bit, I'm an avid believer in investing in yourself. I really believe that if someone has the information that you want, pay them right now to get that information, because usually if they're worth it, it's always 10 times worth the value that you pay for it. So what I would recommend is join some groups. One of the things that we have inside our GBC program, Get Big Contracts, is a networking group where everybody that invests in the program is inside one Facebook group. We all do the coaching calls as well, but that's a great way to build that network of individuals. Not saying that you have to go out there and invest in my program, even though, side plug, you probably should if you want good results. Just saying. But that is the best way to really skyrocket your network, because think about it, just like anything else in life. If you're gonna be in a free group, again, it's great. There's a lot of good people in free groups. Of course, that's how I got started. But if you really wanna elevate, get in paid masterminds. And when you're in paid masterminds, you get a network with everybody in there. And make sure, side note for you, make sure when you're in these masterminds that they're like a family community, at least the paid ones, because you don't want to get in a program where the groups is dead. It's not fun. It's, a lot of people, it's more fun, and you get to build your network when you're in a good group of people that are posting their wins and that you can go out there and network with. So that's it for this video. If you guys like this, and if you like the new setup, let me know down below in the comments. And also, let me know what other type of videos you guys would like me to cover. Usually what I've been doing now is just like a Q&A type style. So any questions you have, drop them down below. Who knows, I might just take your whole question and create a whole video out of it and get that answered for you. So with that being said, that's it. Until next time.